I am doing an interview on fighting in the NHL featuring my dad. So, Dad, do you enjoy watching fights in the NHL?
Fights in the NHL definitely get the crowd um, going and into the game. So
Do you enjoy watching them though, or do you focus more on the game?
I think it's part of the game. I don't mind watching fights in the game. I focus more on the game though. But
Okay. Who do you think is the best enforcer in the history of the NHL?
that's a tough question because there's been a lot of good ones. Obviously, Bob Probert's up. Name would be mentioned in the top enforcer. John Ferguson in the top enforcer. Um, Marty McSorley, Dave Semenko. I think overall, the best player and enforcer would have been Bob Probert.
Okay. Do you think someone like Wayne Gretzky should credit some of his success to the enforcers on his team?
Oh, for sure he does, and he should, and he does, because he knows that the NHL at that time was, there would have been guys put out, on the ice just to take a run at him, and if you took a run at him, you needed to deal with one of the three enforcers they had on the team.
Okay. What do you think of the documentary Ice Guardians?
I thought it was very good. The documentary touched on a lot of good points. These guys aren't goons. The goons wouldn't play for years and years in the NHL, right? Yeah, there'd be goons called up, and that's what their only role was, to go out one period or one shift and cause ruckus. But these guys played. These guys, or some of them are Princeton grads. This is what their job was. I mean, that's what the hockey was. Now, without the enforcers, there's more stick work, and I think the body checking from behind is worse than what some of the fighting did. So
Okay. Bringing to my next question, what do you think of the term goon? Do you think it's an offensive term?
oh yeah, I think it's an offensive term. There are certain people who are goons, and that's what their label is. But the majority of them are enforcers, right? They could play the game, they could score goals.
Okay. And do you think the Broad Street Bullies caused an increase of fighting in the NHL because they were the first team to have a bunch of enforcers?
No, I don't think the Broad Street Bullies caused an increase in fighting. I think they were getting they got manhandled a little bit in some of the games, or overpowered in some of the games, and so that's how they changed their game and their philosophy on the game, and brought in like these the tough guys or the enforcers. But I think that was only for them. They did that for only they could compete with other teams in their divisions.
Okay, and bringing to my last question, do you think fighting should be allowed in the NHL?
I think fighting should be allowed in the NHL because I think it would cut down on some of the illegal hits, some of the high sticks, some of that work that you wouldn't have in the NHL. I think with anything though, it has to be monitored and penalized properly. Whether it be just for 5 minutes, or game suspensions, or multiple game suspensions and fines and team fines. But like I said, it's with the checking, with some of the hitting from behind, you can do more damage from hitting from behind than you can with a couple of enforcers having a fight. You got to watch that you don't take a young talent kid and an enforcer fighting him, right? It's enforcer on enforcer.
Cool. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.